take a look at the Transformers Cross Star Wars, The Mandalorian N1 Starfighter. Alright, so we're starting in vehicle mode. The Mandalorian does become his N1 Starfighter, which we saw in the Book of Boba Fett and in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. It's interesting because it's a very thin vehicle. You think they might have gone for the Razor Crest to give him more engineering room, but honestly, it's really impressive. They got it so sleek and so clean. It looks really, really good. One downside, he does have two effect parts that don't fit. These two effects will come in later, but you can attach two to the front, two thruster ones there. He also doesn't come with a Grogu. There is an opening little canopy you can put a Grogu into. The Vintage Collection one fits perfectly. I bought one specifically for this. Though his little ears will get a little folded by the edges, but this is really, really impressive. Alright, so just like the old Star Wars Transformers, Mando is made to look like Mando as a robot that turns into his own vehicle, which is pretty cool. I like the design overall. I like the cockpit here, which is pretty nice. I think the translation of design worked pretty good. I even got his cape back here, which is made up of parts of the stand, which is awesome. You've got his rifle, which is made up of the tail section. The rifle can take a blast effect either on this end or on this end, depending on however you want to do it, which is pretty awesome. He does also include his pistol, which is stored here in the holster. It looks a little comically small, especially when you put the blast effect on it. You also do get a big old shield with the Mythosaur skull design on it, which is awesome. The only thing that you got floating from the vehicle mode is Grogu's little pod. Yes, this is actually its own separate piece. It's not meant to attach into the robot mode at all, but you can attach it to the stand arm and one of the thruster effects, and then you can plug that into the stand, so you have like a little floating Grogu pram kind of thing going on, which I think is really, really cool. Now, it is really cool. He does come with all those blast effects, but just like with the vehicle mode, you're going to leave some behind. So you got like the big thruster and then the other blast effects you don't use. You know, you can start like just shoving them on to him in weird ways. Like you could totally do that. I'm not gonna do that, but that's an option. And then for a fun comparison here, we have a Black Series Mando and a Figuarts Grogu. So you can kind of see the visual similarities between the Transformers design and the original designs. I think it works pretty good. The only bummer is that if you don't have a Vintage Collection Grogu, you're going to have that, which is not nearly as exciting. It really works if you could put a Grogu in there. Kind of interesting they didn't try to make like a Transformers version of Grogu, like a Headmaster, Titan Master type thing. So overall, I really like the Mandalorian Transformer. I think the design is really cool. I love the transformation. I love how sleek both modes are. And I do love the little Grogu pod, even if you have to buy your own Grogu. It's that BYOG. But the other thing that's cool about it is that it does kind of give some hope that maybe we would get some other Star Wars Transformers. This could just end up being a one-off, or it could be a new line. I guess we'll have to wait and see to find out. And if you want to keep up with future videos on the channel, be sure to hit subscribe now.